For our Car Talk program with Brad Doenges from Doenges Toyota. Good morning, Brad. How are we doing today? That's a loaded question.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm glad you're here with us today. We'll get change the subject. Yeah, we don't have to change our password to do this, do we?
No, we don't. No passwords, no security measures.
It's driving in. The geese seem to have taken over Bartlesville.
Everywhere.
There was a couple crossing the road with their two new babies,
and after your morning, they're still crossing the road.
And then we've had them in our neighborhood too. I don't know, that was kind of unusual. They're walking around in the different yards, and I haven't seen them nesting up yet. But then there were two at first, and then a couple days later there were four. So they're around. I'm not sure quite where they've settled down.
Hopefully not in your yard.
No, that would be, I hear that's not good, but it doesn't appear they're in our yard. But last year we had them at the dealership. They were
in the parking lot.
There was a couple that would come in up every year onto the pad, and we'll go through our gardens and down in the little, between the dealership and the road, there's a ditch with some nice tall grass in it, and he would watch her eat, and I think over behind the Walgreens there's a nice pond. I think they like that area, and then I guess our grass was extra tasty. So.
Well, they say it's always greener on the other side. This time you're the other side.
You're the other
side. And we have Earth Day yesterday. So
yes,
that was good. I like Earth Day. We can't do it without our Earth.
That's true. That's true. We got to keep it clean.
Yeah, and I've got Debbie hopping here from Hopestone.
Yes.
Lots of good stuff going on.
Good stuff coming up. Our Arts of Hopestone is next Sunday, May 3rd, from 4 to 6. We bring in a lot of local artists, so
it's a great informal event with
very
lots
informal
of people.
Cinco de Mayo theme, very laid back, easy going. We have our Hopestone potters. We have a lot of artists from the Bartlesville Art Association taking part this year. We had some really cool hand painted porcelain.
Oh, cool! Great.
That was really very interesting. A silversmith, Cherokee silversmith. So just a lot of really cool art pieces. And then our friend Chris Mantle is going to come up, and he's going to paint live. He hasn't done that in a while. So he's going to do that for us, and then we'll be auctioning that off.
Okay.
We've got some live auction items, so local businesses.
Silent auction with all the art.
All the art with the silent auction. So the live auction is all food.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of neat. Melody from Melody's Catering, she's donated a casserole of the month, so you can go in any day, anytime. Pick out a casserole, and it's yours to take home. You can do that once a month. So that's one of our auction items. Hillary Camplin from Lunette has offered a 12-person charcuterie or fancy appetizers for 8, which is a dinner, and then a 5-course plated meal for 4. So we're going to do that. Tri-County Tech, Seth Day is going to do his cooking experience for 10. So you get to go to Tri-County Tech and prepare your own meal.
Learn
to do it. Yeah, learn to do it.
Great facility there.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. Bob Dunbar, who owns the New York Pizza Experience. It's a gourmet pizza party for 20. So, he can do the regular, cheese pizzas, margherita pizzas, that kind of stuff, but he specializes in gourmet pizzas. So they're like Ragin' Cajun, and which is a spicy kind of Cajun pizza with shrimp, and he does a surf and turf, and all different kinds of really cool combinations.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a very big thing in Tulsa.
Okay.
A very big thing in Tulsa. They go for a lot of money, his pizza parties, because he makes a lot of food. A lot of food. And then, of course, Chris Mantle's painting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some really cool live auction items that everybody can participate in. And as you said, it's just a really very chill, laid-back event.
And great food while you're there, too.
Great food. Our friends at the eatery take extremely good care of us. They're wonderful. Chef Marjorie is just the best. She's the best. So, yep, they're doing the food for us again this year.
And it all goes to support the Hopestone
Yes.
stuff that's going on all year round. And
All
your
the-
support for people with cancer
Yeah.
and their extended families
Yes.
and friends and,
Yep.
and helping them through that process.
Yeah, make sure their prescriptions are taken care of, that, you know, if they need to go down to Houston or go up to Chicago or wherever their doctor says, hey, there's this clinical trial here, I think you're a good candidate for this. You know, we can make sure that they have a flight to get there. We can make sure that their hotel expense is taken care of.
Yeah.
We don't want there to ever be barriers to care. That's
I think that's a good way to
That's
put it. 'Cause
not-
that's really what you guys do is remove the barriers and
yes.
kind of provide support and comfort to people who
Yep.
need that at that
Feeding
time.
tube stuff, that's been a biggie. We're getting a lot of head and neck cancers. And I don't know if that's because there's a lot of chew or whatever, tobacco. That's usually a tobacco, alcohol kind of cancer, you know, and virus, HPV virus type
Yeah.
of thing. And so, you know, back in the day, there was no, you know, vaccine or anything you could do to even try to prevent it. But so there's a lot of head and neck cancers. So we're dealing with a lot of feeding tubes.
Huh.
A lot of feeding tubes. And for some reason, insurance will improve the feeding tube being put in, but they don't want to pay for the food. So we've been fighting that battle for a
That doesn't
hot
make much
minute.
sense.
But you know, people who no longer need the feedings or whatever, they'll bring it down. So we have a very large stash of
Oh.
food that we can give them until they work out, you
Work out
know,
how to
until
do
they
that.
work out the issue. Because a case of the food only lasts 4 days,
Oh.
you know, so we just got a delivery yesterday of, I think, like 42 cases. So, to add to our supply. So we're able to just say, here you go. Here's, you know, a couple cases and call us if you need more.
Okay.
You know, so things like that, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, our meal program is huge. We're up to 60 on our meal program.
Really?
And so that is really huge. We prepare 4 different meals every week, package them up, and deliver them to their homes, or they can come and pick them up. So it's a lot. We do a lot more than people realize, you know, and that's kind of been the conversation.
Some people do.
Some people do. Some people do. I mean, if you
I know. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been selected multiple times
Yes.
in our annual anniversary
Yes.
event where we celebrate in December by donating to charities
Yeah.
for every purchase of a vehicle. We make a donation, and you guys have gotten the most a couple
Yeah.
times,
and that takes care of our people. You literally, those donations save people's lives. So
Wow.
3 people's lives.
And what's neat is that those are our
Yeah.
customers,
Yes.
the local community picking you guys. And then, of course, we love supporting all the great
Oh, yeah.
organizations
Oh,
around
yeah.
here. But
Yeah.
it's, you know, that allows them to kind of direct that.
Yes.
And then we get a match from Toyota
Yes. Yes.
in order to help with that. And they
It
love
gives it
to
a
do
nice
that.
boost. So yeah, it's Hopestone's all about a people helping people.
Yeah, and you can
You
tell
know,
that. And
there's no
and
red
at the
tape.
event, you
Yeah.
kind of sense the great community you have there. And
Yeah, and we're really excited about it this year. And then tonight, Moxie on Second's doing a fashion show, which sold out. And I have 2 of my cancer survivors are in that fashion show tonight. So very excited about that. Every year for the last 5 years, I think Christy at Moxie has been doing that and then donating all the proceeds to Hopestone. So we have that tonight, and yeah, I just love it because it gives people an opportunity to give back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's no strings attached. There's no, you know, it's not, our building is paid for. We don't have any debt. We're not paying paying big salaries or anything like that for our volunteers. Yeah, it's just great.
Well, it is one of those.
It's really cool.
It's a great organization, and it's
Yeah.
Bartlesville's unique thing. Started
It is our
locally
niche.
by,
Yeah.
by a doctor,
Jennifer McKissick, yeah.
McKissick, who fell into that need, and
Yeah.
then kind of thought, thought, well, other people need the same
Yes.
support,
Yes.
and
Yeah, she was born and raised here, and so she came back, and that was her thing. She pushed and pushed and pushed, and got people on board, and it's grown. Boy, is it grown!
It's amazing.
It's grown. It is amazing. You know, I'm just so blessed. I'm like, how did I get so blessed? You know, to be able to do this, and I think, you know, little experiences in my life. You know, my dad had cancer numerous times. My brother had cancer. I had cancer. You know, just genetic cesspool. You know, and this is what he chose for me to do. This was my purpose, and I found it.
There you go. And
It's
here you
very
are.
exciting. Yeah, I love it. I love what I do. I love being able to help people. I love being able to help families. You know, and talking people off the ledge, because cancer is a really scary word. You know, and just sitting down and having a conversation and taking away some of that fear.
Well, tell them, the people who are listening that may not know where you are and how to access the support services that you
Okay.
have, and because that's really the first step, right?
Yes,
Is call
yes,
and
is
just say
making the
hello,
phone call,
come down there,
or just stop by, and make an appointment. We're at 206 Southeast Frank Phillips Boulevard, so right on Frank Phillips Boulevard between Osage and Dewey.
Beautiful building,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah, people are very surprised. It's an old historic building. We kept, you know, the brick walls and the high tin ceilings. We kept as much as we possibly could. I love old buildings. And so it's a beautiful facility. We have a little boutique in there. We have an exercise area. We have a beautiful pottery area where our Hopestone potters do all of their pottery. And then upstairs is just our kitchen and our lymphatic massage, and just to really chill, our meeting space. And that's where we'll hold our event, is up on the second floor. But we do have an elevator, of course. And yeah, it's just a great place. Come on in, and let us help you. You know, let us help you. We have gas cards. We have nutritional supplies. All different kinds of things, wicks, hats, scarves, whatever you need.
And
Yeah.
if you think of something else, I'm sure you'd figure it
Hey, if I don't have it, I'm a really good beggar, and I'll get it from somewhere.
out. No, I'm sure you can, and that great support network.
Yeah,
and
this
that's what
community is amazing.
The event supports all that
Yes.
throughout the year. It helps draw attention to what you do, but it
Yes.
also it raises money to
Yes.
provide for the resources required. And,
Yeah, we
and
had-
you mentioned before the show you have great sponsor
Fantastic
level
sponsors this year. Yeah, ConocoPhillips, Phillips 66, Ascension St. John, Jane Phillips, Truity, and then Prosperity Bank. You know, and a lot of individual people. Of course, my husband. You know how that works. Janie Kirkpatrick, Stephen Joan Hydorn, Debbie and Mark Haskell, the Walmart Distribution Center.
Okay.
They support us. They jumped on board with the Arts of Hopestone this year. They usually help us with Dad's Walk. Price Connor, Marty Smith, the Bartlesville Print Shop, Moxie, of course, and a few doors down. Bartlesville Wine and Spirits. So we had a huge support network this year, which was really great. A good combination of individuals and businesses.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course you let me come on here and
Well,
at least 4 or 5 times a year.
yeah, you're welcome anytime. I mean, it's such a great thing because I know
Yeah.
the reason you get the support is because you touch so many lives.
Yes,
And, a
cancer
lot of times
doesn't discriminate.
that's kind of hidden in a way. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. People don't necessarily want to talk about that.
Yes,
It is
yes.
something that is
It's personal.
personal and private, and but at the same time, it's you can tell it's that these organizations and individuals have been touched by that. I know that's one reason why it's so popular among our customers, and we have people at the dealerships that have been
Yes.
needed your organization's support in their families. So
Yeah.
it is it's something that touches the whole community, really. And
Yeah,
that's
it
why,
doesn't discriminate.
Why
That's
you're
for
a,
sure.
you're a successful beggar.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't discriminate. We've got from 4-month-old to we got a lady in the other day, and she's an 84-year-old former teacher in Bartlesville, and she just said, I heard about you, I know about you, but I had absolutely no idea of the extent until I stopped by for a visit.
Yeah, no, and that's what I would encourage people to do. If
Yeah.
they're interested in this, if you want to help, you always
Yes.
do need volunteers.
We always need volunteers for things like our Arts of Hopestone. We have our Dad's Walk coming
That's a
up.
great event.
That's
that one is
that's an event.
another unique event in Bartlesville.
Yep,
and
that's
really,
gonna
it's
be-
a regional event at
Yeah,
this point. I
yep.
think.
And that's going to be October 15th to the 17th
Okay.
this year. So we'll be gearing up for that. So I'll be looking for you again to promote that. Who knows?
definitely
We
the-
may even get Mr. Bryan in on that
No, we've
this
offered.
year.
We've asked him to come on board, but he's busy. I know.
He's
And,
busy. He's
yeah,
running all over the
he's
country
doing
and
all kinds of things.
the world, actually.
Yeah,
With that
and-
son of his. So
The sun keeps him busy.
he
I'm
does
sure,
keep
and,
him busy. Tries to keep him out of
but
trouble.
that's
but-
I know that's why it's so cool. Is the connections.
Yes.
And the musicians that come.
Yes.
And I mean, but it's a great story because he does this
He's-
walk every year
Yeah.
now, and
born and raised in Copan, and he does this walk for cancer and raises,
how much does it raise?
oh my gosh, I think this year it was probably between us and Claire. Paths to Independence is the other organization that they support. Probably close to 300,000.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it's great again because last year we decided to get our community involved.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of restaurants that donated food for the event on Saturday. Cranky Planks and Crossing Second, Painted Horse, Bambinos, the Eatery, all of these local businesses that gave for the food, so no expense there. We had very, very minimal expense. Walmart Distribution Center, all of these local businesses gave.
Yeah.
So we didn't have expense for food. And so all of that money,
Just helps.
all of that money goes right to Claire and I. And so it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it impacts a lot of lives.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves because that's way off in October.
Right. So
And so May
back
3rd,
to our May 3rd, 4 to 6. Come have some fun.
Yeah, it should be a great evening. We'll be there.
Yes, yes.
Excited to come
Yeah,
and see
you
the
can-
art and bid on some things.
Yep. Get some tickets online at
Yes. Tickets are still
www.hopestonechancer.org. Yeah, you know me. I don't limit
no,
stuff.
that-
I have no limits.
Fill it up.
Right. Fill it up. The more the merrier. So they can get tickets online on the website. They can get tickets the day of at the door. We prefer that we kind of know ahead of time for the eatery. We don't want to be stressing Marjorie and Brian and Annie out too badly. But they take really good care of us. I love the eatery. I can't say enough wonderful
And
things.
it's-
And Melody's doing our
And
desserts.
it
so.
coincides with Cinco de Mayo this
Yes.
year, so a little bit of
Fun.
a little bit of Cinco de Mayo
Yes.
flair with it. too.
Definitely Cinco de Mayo flair. We're all about the flair.
Yeah.
But it'll be good. What's going on with the dealership?
Well, we do have a ton of stuff going on. We still don't have any RAV4s.
I know. That's okay. I'm
I know
gonna
you're
keep
being
putting my
patient.
request in, and
We've got you on the list. That's what we're trying to do, is get that one you want. But I think we've delivered about 20 or 25 of them now.
They are nice.
Continue to they're incredible. We have people come drive through the lot every day wanting to look at them, and it's like, well, they're not here anymore.
Dennis helping.
There's some coming. And yeah, it's an incredible launch to that vehicle. Hopefully it'll settle down later in the year. We'll get them where we can have some on the ground. If I could get one to stay there for a minute, we might buy one just so we have a display vehicle. We've talked about doing that. And
it was crazy.
We'd have one to show people because people do want to take a look at it and drive it. And
it's a
some
great
of those,
drive.
Our vehicles are some of those Toyotas are so popular right now. It's really hard to keep them on the ground. The RAV4, the Land Cruiser, sometimes the 4Runner are that way. We do have one of our best inventories of the year, or in a long time, really, in several years right now, because we've been growing pretty rapidly. We're up dramatically in the first quarter of the year, doubling our business, and that's really exciting.
Wonderful.
We know it's working. Our great team at the dealership and a non-commissioned sales approach, which really means we don't put pressure on you to buy something certain, and that it's not up to our team to, we're a business. We need to make money when we sell things, but that's not what it's about. It's about answering your questions, helping you buy a car. We have no documentation fee at all. We just believe in simple pricing and keeping things straightforward. There's been some news on that in the last few weeks. We've had both the Oklahoma Motor Vehicle Commission and the Federal Trade Commission are really amping up their enforcement of laws that have already been out there, but focused on dealers that don't have straightforward pricing. There's sometimes I don't really like to talk about it this way, but sometimes it's not all clear, and the price you see online may not be what you pay, and that's just what it should be. Obviously, if you advertise a price under the law, you're supposed to honor that price, and there shouldn't be special requirements or hoops you have to jump through to get that price. It's supposed to be available to everyone at that value, and of course, it's negotiable. That you can lower the price, but you can't raise it. And and a lot of times, things like the documentation fee and other dealer add-ons. Some dealers do things like add tint and other accessories to vehicles before the vehicle's sold, and you may or may not want that stuff, but so that stuff's got to be clearly marked and priced into the most prominent price of the vehicle that's out there, and things like rebates and other incentives that are conditional. In other words, you have to either be a part of an organization or do a certain thing like trade or finance on that purchase. Those cannot be in the most prominent price. You can still offer those kinds of incentives, of course, and every manufacturer has rebates and things that are choices. But we've got lots of those going on in Toyota. But our price online is the same price that we have on the vehicle at the dealership or in the showroom. We have our team that has great technology to help you with the process of answering those questions that you used to have that back and forth in the dealership with the sales team, or what is the payment and how much down do I need and what's the financing rate and what's the trade cost. We've got all of those tools online. Really a great system that allows our team to answer a lot of those questions. You can even do it at home on your own
your
computer.
website. I was going to say the website is fantastic.
Yeah, it really
very
does
user-friendly.
work, and you can get a quick idea of what your trade is worth. You can put your own information in there. You can even submit your credit app and actually pretty much buy the car. And we do that all the time where we're delivering cars all over the country, it seems. But the reality is most of our deals are done here in Bartlesville, and so come on down, talk to our team. if it's something, if you don't see it on the lot, be sure to tell us what you're looking for. 'Cause
Right.
we get 2 allocations of Toyotas a month. Those that are most popular are going to sell really quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think sometimes things like Tacoma, which is our best-selling vehicle right now, has been for the last couple of years. We have some of those, so it's not that all the most popular ones aren't available, but those like the brand new RAV4,
Yeah.
we have a new model coming out, and it's in high demand and short supply across the entire Toyota dealer world. And we haven't really been affected at this point by the tariffs and supply chain things. Toyota does have great value vehicles. We still make the Corolla and Camry and those kinds of vehicles, Corolla Cross, and that start under $30,000. So,
Yep.
I know when you look at a lot of vehicles, they're 50, 60,000 or more. And of course we have those too.
Yes.
But the bottom line is Toyota, you can still get a great vehicle like a 4Runner, SR5, around $42,000. So great value still
Oh,
there,
yeah, they
great fuel
last
economy
forever.
with the price of gas
Yes.
up crazy like it is. With our hybrids and plug-in hybrids and battery electric vehicles, we have a great selection of all kinds of powertrains that all are very fuel efficient. And so come talk to our team about that.
Yeah.
And,
I was happy. Mark Cerave called me the minute our RAV4 came in.
He'll stay in touch.
And he said, if you hurry up, you can you can test drive this to make sure this is what you really want. And he goes, make sure this is what you really want.
Yeah, that's what you wanna do.
And it was great. And he asked, so what other vehicles are you looking at? He said, make sure you drive them, go test drive them. And of course, I love RAV4. My daughter still has hers that he sold us back in 2015, I think. It's still going strong. We just had it repainted because she had some hail damage. She's
that's
down in
the way with
Oklahoma City,
Toyotas.
and as long as you
And
change
hail,
the oil
hopefully
and do
tonight,
their
well,
stuff.
fingers crossed.
No dance,
I don't know. I will make that decision later in the afternoon. But we had to do it last week, and what was crazy is we sold a bunch of cars while we had them inside, and so I don't know what the deal is with that. But there's a chance we'll bring them in this afternoon. I think because the storms tonight look like they could be severe if they materialize. They do, and
You never know.
we don't want to have them hit by hail. We'd rather have a no hail sale than,
Yes.
than that. Otherwise, and it doesn't take much.
No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. And for the rest of the weekend, hopefully we'll get by without too severe weather and get some more rain and make those geese happy when they're stumbling around town.
Oh, my. Tell folks where they can find you, Brad.
Well, if you want to just look online at doengestoyota.com is a great way to start. All our transit Toyotas and used cars are up there, in-stock vehicles, all the tools that we talked about. Or you can come by the dealership at 1911 Southeast Washington Boulevard and come see us, and I'll be there in a few minutes.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, folks. You've been watching and listening to our Car Talk program with Brad Doenges with Doenges Toyota.